Hi everyone, welcome to Dada's FoodCrave Kitchen. If you are new to my channel, I want to thank you for stopping by. Please don't forget to hit the subscribe button and hit the notification bell because you'll be the first to be notified whenever I upload a video. In today's recipe, I am going to be making some Spanish rice and beans with pork ribs and some potato salad on the side. So if you are interested in seeing how I make this delicious meal, please stay tuned. So without any further ado, let's get cooking. So guys, I have my ribs all nicely washed with vinegar and salt. If you don't eat ribs, like I said, you can use chicken or whatever favorite meat you have. Here I have my homemade sofrito. Yes guys, I made this homemade sofrito. If you guys are interested in seeing how I make this homemade sofrito, I have a video coming up for it. I'll show you guys step by step how to make your homemade sofrito. This sofrito season is gonna be going into the rice, and it's also gonna be going into the pork ribs as well. Like I said, if you don't eat pork, you can make it with chicken as well. And then you also need some tomato sauce. I am going to be adding some olives into my rice. If you like olives, perfect. You can add some olives into your rice. And I have this vanilla chicken sausage that I'm gonna add into it as well. This will give the rice an extra flavor. And then you need some gandules, which they call it chicken peas, chickpeas, I think. Yeah. And then you also need some dark kidney beans, red one. I'm gonna be using some kosher salt. You can use any salt you like, sea salt, whatever salt you like. And I'm also gonna add some adobo seasoning. You can put this adobo seasoning into your fish, meat, chicken, whatever it is, and 1 onion. I'm also gonna be adding some sazon seasoning. That's sazon seasoning as well. It's a Goya sazon. I'm gonna be using 2 of them into the chicken seasoning. And this one is not as yellow because it doesn't have the sin and achito on it. So you have one that doesn't have the anato, I believe that's how they call it, and one without it. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna add my homemade sofrito into the meat. This was an extra one that I have left over when I was putting the rest in the storage. So I'm gonna add all of that into the meat. Like I said, if you don't eat pork, please, you can do this meal with some chicken or meat, like meat, beef rib. Now I'm gonna add 1 of each of the sazon seasoning into the meat, 2-pack. I'm also gonna add a little bit of salt, not much, like a teaspoon of salt, not even teaspoon, because my sofrito already had salt in it when I was making it. I'm also gonna add some adobo seasoning. Adobo seasoning has like garlic, different kind of stuff in there. So what you're gonna do is just gonna mix everything together like so. Make sure everything is mixed really well. You can make this with pork chops, pork rib, beef rib, chicken, whatever it is, but the same seasoning with any type of meat that you like to make it with. But I have not seen anybody make it with fish. It's either chicken, pork chops, pork rib, or beef rib. Whatever rib that you like, you can go with that. So now that everything is seasoned really well, I'm gonna have my foil tray pan here. Make sure you rinse it, guys, because I bet you it already collects some dust in the store when you purchase them. And you don't even need to grease the pan because, you know, like I said, the pork ribs, it's pretty greasy, so it's not gonna stick. Don't gotta worry about that. Arrange them really nicely into the pan. Your chicken or whatever beef ribs that you have, pork chops, whatever it is that you have that you decide to make this meal with. My homemade sofrito will be coming next right after this video if you guys are interested. Like I said, I already make a video of it, so I will definitely upload that video in order for you guys to be making this meal. So I have my oven preheated to 400 degrees. So I'm gonna put the meat into the oven and let it cook for like at least 30 minutes. While that's in the oven, I'm gonna put like 1/4 cup or not even 1/2 cup of oil into a hot pan. I'm using a canola oil. You can use vegetable oil. So now I'm just gonna chop up my onion into the hot oil. Although my sofrito was already blended with onion in it, but I always like to add an extra onion stir fry before I add my sofrito seasoning into the oil. You don't necessarily have to add extra onion. You could just put the sofrito seasoning into the hot oil. That's fine as well. Usually also I would chop some habanero peppers while I'm chopping the onions, but I'm not gonna do that today. And then I have my venini chicken sausage. You're gonna cut that up really small. If you can't find this sausage, that's fine. I just like my rice to have that extra flavor. There's another way too where you could make your Spanish rice and beans. Like I said, you don't have to add this venini sausage in it. They have that smoked herring that you can add into it if you're making Spanish rice and beans. Like I said, you don't have to. You could just make a Spanish rice and beans actually without the venini chicken sausage. I just like my rice to be really tasty in every bite that I take. So you're gonna stir fry that a little bit. And what I'm gonna do now, like I said, you don't have to add the chopped onions into the oil or the venini sausage. You can just simply add the homemade sofrito into the hot oil and you should be fine, because the homemade sofrito was blended with onions and garlic and, you know, all other ingredients. And then I'm gonna add 2 packs of the sazon seasoning. Mix it really well. Let that fry up. As you can see, everything is coming together. Here I'm gonna be adding my tomato sauce. You can use 1 can of tomato sauce or 2 cans of tomato sauce, at least to the max. 2 cans of tomato sauce will be fine. At first I thought I needed 1 tomato sauce, but I'm eventually gonna put another can of tomato sauce. And then you're gonna pour in your gandules, green pigeon peas. which the Spanish people call gandules, green pigeon peas. And then you're also gonna add your red kidney beans. I usually wash my red kidney beans because, like I said, when you open the can up, it comes with a very thick juice in it. So I don't want that. I don't know what's that juice for, but I don't want it into my meal. So I always rinse it out before I cook with it. If you have fresh beans that you're gonna be boiling, that's even awesome. It's even better if you're not a fan of using canned beans. You could soak your red kidney beans overnight. That will also help it to cook really faster. As you can see, I'm adding another tomato sauce. So that's a total of 2 cans of tomato sauce. Like I said about the beans, the red kidney beans, if you're the type that don't like a canned bean, you can always use the fresh kidney beans, and just make sure you soak it overnight so that when it's time for you to cook it, it will cook really faster. And I'm gonna add a little dash of adobo seasoning into the sauce. I know it seems like a lot of salt, but once it reaches to the taste that I want, then I'll stop. You don't have to keep adding, salt into your food like I'm doing. If you don't eat a lot of salt or whatever, I don't eat a lot of salt either, but I don't like my food to taste bland. So once you cover the pot, you want to make sure you let it cook for at least one good 10-15 minutes. Let the onions and the tomato brown up a little bit. And then I'm gonna add my olives. This is looking so delicious already, guys. Look at this. And once you add your olives, you mix it up a little bit while the tomato and the onions and everything is browning up really nice. This is gonna be one delicious rice and beans here, guys. So I'm just gonna cover the pot for a little bit, 10 minutes, and then come back, add like 3 cups of water because I'm gonna be making 4 cups of rice. So that's 3 cups of water. I mean, every rice is different when you're making them. Some takes more water, some doesn't take more water. But I know the kind of rice that I'm using the jasmine rice. If you want your rice to come out really perfect, you don't want to add too much water. So I always use like 4 cups of rice and 3 cups of water. I always go like less cup of water. I'm gonna add a little bit of adobo. As you can see, being the African chick that I am and love spicy food, I add my habanero pepper into the sauce. It wouldn't be me, so I can squeeze it on the side. And now I'm getting ready to make my potato salad. Got my potatoes all peeled up. I'm gonna add water into the pot for my potato to be cooked. Gonna add a little bit of more water here too. I like to cook my potato salad with some boiled eggs. So I'm gonna put some boiled eggs into the water, let it boil as well. And then I'm gonna add some salt into the water so that my potatoes will be tasty. Not much salt, just a little bit. You don't have to add salt while you're boiling your potato. I prefer adding salt. So this was 30 minutes after. Came back to check my ribs. The progress is looking good. So I'm just gonna flip them so that the other side will cook really good. You want to make sure you cook your meats really good, guys, because you don't want to get sick. You don't want, when you're cooking meats, you don't want it to be undercooked. You want to make sure it's cooked really good. This was 30 minutes after. Flip it to the one side, flip it again to the other side. And now you're going to put it back in the oven and let it cook some more until it's really done. And now that the water is already boiled, I got my rice all nicely washed. I wash my rice. That's 4 cups of rice and 3 cups of water. And imagine with all those sauce into the water too, that's also gonna add it's not necessary for me to add more water into the rice because the sauce was pretty much a lot already. As you can see, my habanero peppers are floating on the top because I always like to squeeze it on the side because I like spicy food. So you want to make sure you mix it. If you're gonna add float a pepper on the top, make sure it's not break into the sauce. So I just wanted to show you guys a little bit of technique that I've learned over the years. You know, I don't know if it's a myth, but I always know when to not add much water into my rice. They said if you put a spoon in between, you put a spoon into the pot like so, and if it doesn't fall, that means you put the right amount of water. But if the spoon fall, that means you have too much water. So I don't know how true that is. So I'm covering my pot and put it on medium. What I'm gonna do here, I'm gonna use a parchment paper to cover my pot because I don't want an extra water to be into my rice because I don't like mushy rice. I like my rice to be cooked but not too mushy. And back home we call it poto poto. I don't want my rice to be poto poto. So you're gonna use some parchment paper and just cover your rice so that extra water from the sweat would not go into the pot, because that's like adding like half a cup or quarter cup or a couple of tablespoons of water extra. You see what I was telling you guys? This is why I put the parchment paper, so that extra water doesn't go into my rice and make it mushy. It will stay like right there. That's pretty much like 2 tablespoons of water right there. So you want to be careful. I kind of spill a little bit in there. You want to be careful when you're taking it out. So what I'm going to do now, I'm just going to check my rice. Before I do that, I'm going to scoop the habanero pepper out because I don't want to mix the rice and have all that pepper break into the rice. It's going to be too spicy. This is a perfect way to just have it on the side for people who don't eat spicy food. Usually sometimes I would chop the habanero pepper into the onions while it was frying, but I just feel like floating it today. So I'm going to give it another 20 minutes. Let the rice cook 20 minutes. Usually I cook my rice for like 45 minutes total. I give it first 25, check it, give it another 20. As you can see here, my potatoes and my egg is already cooked. What I'm gonna do here, I'm gonna get my potato salad all ready. So I'm just gonna cut some of the big chunk in half, like so. And I like my potato salad to have that little bit of onion taste into it. If you want to use like a regular onion like this, that's fine. If you want to use some green onions, that's fine. So, but you really want to make sure you chop your onions really finely like that. I'm not going to put a lot, just a little bit to give it that onion taste. Just like so, that's it. That's enough right there. And then I'm gonna cut my eggs, hard-boiled eggs, into the potato. Just like so. If you don't want to put eggs into it, that's fine as well. I always like to give people options, you know what I mean? Like I said, if you don't want to put eggs into it, that's fine. And I'm also going to use my chicken bouillon seasoning into the potato salad, guys. You want to try that. Oh my gosh, it's very good. And then you're going to use some couple of spoons of mayonnaise. Mix it all well together. At this point, you're not adding any salt because that chicken bouillon right there, it's a chicken bouillon. It has salt already. I'm going to add a couple of dashes of black pepper. You can use white pepper if you want. And a couple of dashes of cilantro. You could use parsley if you want, dry parsley. Either or, that's fine. That's a dry cilantro. And voila, your potato salad is ready. So now I'm checking my meat, my ribs. And it's all nicely, perfectly cooked. It's not raw, it's not undercooked, it's really cooked. Look how beautiful that is, guys. If you guys are enjoying this video while you are at it, while you're watching this video, please subscribe and hit that notification bell so that you'll be notified whenever a new video come up. And once again, there's more water. See that, guys? That's almost like 5 tablespoons of water that would have been in your rice. And keep your rice, make your rice poto rice. You don't want no poto rice. You want your rice to be nicely cooked. Mushy. You don't want no mushy rice. Poto means mushy. So my rice is perfectly cooked after total of 45 minutes. In a low heat, medium high. I always turn my oven to number 3. That's my perfect medium high right there. Between 3 and 4. Look at all the olives and the venini chicken sausage. You have my ribs. Nicely cooked there. I always make my own Spanish rice and beans. This is a Spanish dish. Spanish, Puerto Ricans, you name it. They're all in the same family, I guess. Like I said, everybody cook their food differently, but this is how I learned how to cook my own Spanish rice and beans and my potato salad on the side. So as you can see, once again, I'm putting my food in a bowl for a nice presentation for you guys. Make sure I get some of the olives. The olives taste so great with the rice. Everything tastes so perfect. This is a delicious meal, guys. I hope you guys will try this recipe. And leave your comment down below. If you guys have any question, if you guys try it, please leave a comment down below. Let me know you guys try it. So I'm going to take my favorite plate and put the rice on the plate like so. And please watch out for the homemade sofrito, guys. Watch out for that, because definitely I believe without that homemade sofrito, you guys will not be able to complete this recipe. So I want to make sure I bring that recipe so that you guys can achieve this recipe And you can use that homemade sofrito, like I said, with your chicken, your beef ribs, and just put it in the oven and bake it. But that's the Spanish version of their seasoning if they're cooking their rice and their pork chops and stuff like that. I know the Caribbeans have their own green seasoning too, and also Gambians, we also have our own green seasoning. If you watch my chicken yassa with vermicelli, I have my special seasoning that I use into the chicken, which I'm yet to bring that spice recipe as well. I also made a ginger garlic paste, which you will find a lot of Haitian and Indian people use that a lot, and now African people use that. Everybody's using ginger garlic paste in their meal. So what I'm gonna do here is I just chop some scallions, some green onions, just to kind of like decorate the plate a little. Even you could eat it with the potato salad. It's not gonna hurt it. It's gonna give it extra flavor. And voila, my Spanish rice and beans with my pork ribs is ready. With my mashed with my potato salad on the side. Like I said, if you are enjoying this video, please give it a thumbs up, share, like, subscribe, leave your comment down below. If you have any question, I'll be coming up with different types of recipe, and I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Let me know what you guys think. And thanks for watching. I'll see you guys in my next video. It is so pretty, guys. Isn't that pretty? If it's pretty, please put a thumbs up. Please put a thumbs up. Give it a thumbs up in this video, please. So voila. So I just wanted to show you, this is how I put my rice, stored my rice in my storage bowl to put it in the fridge. And that's it, guys. I'll see you guys next time. Bye. Ta-ta. I'll see you soon. Enjoy.